weren't gay, were he? He was an absolute stud.
Jesus.
Knock it back in for Mary.
He only had blokes at his last supper. You know what I mean?
I'll put 12 and 1 together, if you know what I mean.
I think he did. 12 cocks, one house.
The grief stays the same, but your life just grows around it.
I've got to go first.
I think you will.
Yeah.
I think you will. And I'll be there.
I do, but seeing like a family member cry at a funeral, who you like, who was a strong family member, you're like, oh fucking hell.
It's raw, yeah.
Shit's hit the fucking fan here.
Is
that Jupiter's power?
Love you, Jesus, brother, but not for me. I did have a bracelet.
Jesus, I will come to your fucking last supper, but just because I'm starving, not because I support you.
£1, £2, £3.
I'd be like, £4. You're not zoomed at work on this, can't get Forbes cock.
He's your granddad from 90 years ago.
We're Chinese, wasn't he?
I don't want to be eternal. I just want to make sure that while I'm here, I've had a good time and I've made a bit of an impact.
Morning, fellas. Welcome back to this week's episode of Fine and Dandy Podcast.
The show where two fellas catch up, sup up, and this week we're not making up for your beer ratings. We're just, as you can see,
fuck you, beer ratings.
we're sort of here, but we've not got another new location sponsored. But we're sort of just moving a bit further out. We're not behind the bar. We're in the bar.
Out, you could say.
We're having a chat.
A deep, meaningful chat.
Because, you know, this is God's honest truth. We ain't got any beers through beer taste. So if you do want to send some in, you know where we are.
Fucking hell, I should be here a long time. I have got a great episode coming up about supermarkets. That's all I'm going to say.
That's my dream. So we thought we'd just, instead, you know, it's come to this time that we record. That time month again.
It is actually for our lads. It's tough at home.
So he's escaped his lad to come and get stuff off his chest and just have a normal chat. Have a go planned? Maybe. But
a bit, Simon.
There's been a bit of news that's touched us both. I'll let you take it away, Andy.
No, genuinely, like, obviously this podcast, /show, /ballsack, we just take the piss a lot, don't we, Dan?
Yeah.
We take the piss, we have a piss, we piss on his joggers. But, genuinely, I'm actually being serious now. Tom Parker's died.
Yeah.
From the Wanted. He got diagnosed with a brain tumour in 2020. I think around the time lockdown were happening.
I think I read October 2020.
Was that lockdown?
We were sort of out with that when you could do rule of six and dance on table.
Yeah, I think I remember being sat on my sofa and seeing like Tom from the Wanted has got a brain tumour and I was like, what the fuck? And then the big word, inoperable.
Can I I'm going to say juxtaposition, I don't think that's the right word.
Just give a juxtaposition.
Can I say something? But obviously I remember reading that news as well, but it upset me. This is not me being like, oh, don't use shit, but it upset me. I weren't like, right, that's the worst news I've ever heard. Obviously it's upsetting, you don't want it to happen.
It's somebody who we grew up with kinda though.
But since his death, I have seen a load of comments, like a load of TikTok, saying how never really listed Wanted or blah blah, but it's still affecting him. I think Wanted, obviously, you know, he could do a full Wanted episode.
Genuine, I'm glad you came.
But obviously at the time I think it was like 1D. They were
a bit more like blokes though, aren't they? They're a bit more like.
Max is gorgeous.
Like Max, if you are listening, I know you were grieving, but I'm going to be sensitive here, but you know where to stick it.
So they weren't. Well, obviously they didn't mint for the same, but it were all 1D, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously I think Union J had a crack in it like now the vibes. So
Union J.
But then obviously we all know. Glad you came. For wrong reasons at the minute, which if you're listening,
you put your zoot down
and piss off. Put the zoot down, Flower, and piss off.
I've never seen it. But genuinely, I don't know if it was a little bit of publicity stunt, but they might have known he was dying, they might have released that song and they might have tried just to
get him some tinfoil, need a full roll to put it around this head, but no, he can't, he's only like a school kid, isn't he? But fair enough, we did actually search while we were setting this up, we always put tunes on, I typed in Glad You, Lil Zoot version come like, just
Lil Zoot, Lil fucking Zoot off. You're pissing me off now, sorry.
But yeah, he's. I think everyone's
sad and tragic news because he's fucking left his daughters, young daughters, and his missus.
Yeah, them Instagram posts are hard to stomach, aren't they?
I hadn't actually seen him from his missus's Instagram.
If you go on, one that gets me most is everyone's sharing this one where what she just put on where it's like in garden and like the picking kids, which is obviously it's sad, but one from 26th of December, like Merry Christmas from the Parkers. And they're just crispy because the thing is, it looks relatively normal. You said while we were packing up, while I was setting up, there's that video of him obviously on stage.
Yeah,
was last time. Which, by the way, I don't know how they held it together.
I have no idea. They all like touch him.
Fantastic, isn't it? Honestly, it's really good. But
when were the fucking sale on them tickets? Because I would have bought at least 4.
Probably before lockdown. That's the thing, innit? But that's mad that Morris probably bought him before he even had a brain tumour. But yeah, it's just a normal photo. He looks normal because obviously brain tumour. It's not like he doesn't seem to have looked progressive worse. He does look a bit rough.
Looks a bit like thinner,
frailer. But to look at him, you won't think God easy. Obviously, just he does look a bit like gone and that. But he's not cracking, is it?
It's really sad, and I just want to say rest in peace to Tom Parker from The Wanted, because he's a fucking sound bloke.
And in your memory, my Spotify rap this year will be The Wanted, The Wanted, The Wanted.
It will be.
I'll be glad you came.
Great. That's a fantastic way to finish that, Dan. But on that theme, slightly insensitive, but we've got an episode.
It sort of sparked a conversation which we thought episode ideas.
We sparked a bazoo.
Put it straight back down. Something came up. And we wanted to do this topic. When we're doing these more serious ones, we're just doing a Would You Rather, so check it out. Here.
Just up there.
Just up there, along with his OnlyFans.
Genuine, that Would You Rather is the absolute go bid.
After we did sort shout out.
Yeah.
But we wanted wanted to touch up on it for a while, but we thought when's the right time? But I think because it's all got us, talking, we're like, right, we'll just go for
fucking
it.
Thinking.
Let's roll for it. So this one's going to be about the afterlife. Well, not the afterlife.
Oh, the afterlife.
Maybe that's
that
part
is a
two.
good conversation.
But this one is about death and all things. I don't want to say bright and beautiful because it's definitely not, but
death related.
To some people, it's morbidly beautiful, but So we'll kick it in. This one, behind the curtain again. Honestly, spend so much time behind this curtain. You have to start paying rent in a minute.
Lease board.
Please, we do need it because we're desperate to quit jobs. This was my episode sort of plan. Make a few notes.
I've actually had an episode to plan for weeks.
Hence the phone and the crisp. So this is why we're doing a more downbeat one because Andy's planned fuck all as usual. Do have to do everything around here. So I've just got a few prompts and let's just see how it gets on. But my first thing I've just put in my notes is: are you scared of death?
Absolutely. Some nights I actually. Right, there's a couple of things I can say on this. Okay. Number one, I would like to say. Sometimes when I'm driving home, I think about like my mum and dad dying and that just so I can cry. I thought you were going to say so do I. I think about Robin when they're dying all the time.
No, I'm usually stuck once that way. I'm so bad.
Hey, but I am absolutely terrified of death. I actually, when I start thinking about it, I'm very aware that there's like organs inside me pumping shit around and working.
We are asking them to.
And it probably makes I can't stop thinking about
paid.
it. They're not asked. They want to go to the local citizen advice bureau, these fuckers. There's nothing that scares me more than death, actually, to answer your question, Dan.
And I don't want to go on a biology route, but
please go on a biology route. Yes, my anus is gaping.
What I think about, you said about your organs just doing what they do. What's stopping from just being no thanks? Which obviously that's what happens in an heart attack, in a brain hemorrhaging, this, that, and other. It's your organ going no thanks, or disease saying fuck you.
Yeah.
But like, why is my heart after that? Just get a rest, pal. Have a weekend off.
That's the thing as well. You know what I don't like? Not having any control over a situation. So, for example, Tom from Wanted, he had a brain tumour, just told it's inoperable, and he's like thinking, "Why me?" And he's like, "I can't go like and give somebody £1,000 and there's like, yeah, go on then, I'll sort that out for you." I can't fucking, I don't know, like wrong the right. It's like it's just unfortunate.
It's been decided, hasn't it?
Yeah. I don't like. Pardon me. The control being taken out of my hands really scares me, and like the thought of another just going off a little tangent. Another thing, not doing everything I want to do just because of work and commitments, and then 2 years later, like Tom from Wanted, I could just die, and I'm like, I wish I actually did go on that holiday instead of saving that money and fucking maybe get my car remoted.
Yeah, well, I think that is actually different. If you had no, but you're right. But I think you can't always think that because I know it's cliche, but you could get run over tomorrow. You could.
You could. I could have an heart attack tomorrow. We are vape.
You're going strong.
Every time I buff it up, it's like, what cars on?
15 minutes.
And the sun goes down. No, I am terrified. Just to answer your question, I'm absolutely terrified of that.
What I'm going to ask you is, what we're going to pitch that is, are you scared of the process of dying, or are you scared of the consequence, or what?
But
what scares you about it?
I'd like to answer the consequence first.
Okay.
So people always used to say to me, and our last actually says this, I think, it's just, I'm not scared of dying, it's just like being asleep. But but it's not like being asleep because your brain isn't fucking firing off things. You're not dreaming.
Yeah.
And I can't wrap my head around like you are nothing. You don't exist. Like you're basically as lifeless as that chair is over there.
Well, people like to say, oh, it's just sleeping, but I always counter it in my head as, well, I didn't know before I was born, so it's only the same. Like I weren't sleeping before I were even. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm not like, oh, I know that'll be about. Just be no, you ain't. Like it's just no, is it?
I don't want to jump too far ahead as well, but like I'm not a religious man.
No.
Is that jumping too far ahead?
Love you, Jesus, brother, but not for me. I did have a bracelet.
Jesus, I will come to your fucking last supper, but just because I'm starving, not because I support you. As long as you serve pot noodles when I'm there. Now, I am terrified of death. The question was what, sorry?
Are you scared of death?
Yeah. And I'm scared of the process of dying. Yeah, because I don't know if I'm scared of like. I'm just terrified. I just don't know what's going to happen to me. And it's
the uncertainty, then, isn't it?
The uncertainty. And I suppose, leaving people behind and then being upset and stuff, but life moves on, doesn't it? Actually,
you've skipped so many points, but it is right, yeah.
I said to her, me and Al asked her in bed overnight, like, no sinister going on, like.
You know what he's like, no much happened there.
Snuggling and sleeping. But I think we got all watching Green Mile, and we got on to conversation of death, and we got on to like, would you move on with like, we aren't mate, awesome mate. And
that's sweet sides.
I'm like, I don't want you to move on when I'm gone, because if I do come back as a ghost, and I'm forced to, if I choose you to sit with and stay for the rest of my life,
you don't want to watch that, do you?
I'm just like, look, John's shagging our lass again. Go on, son, now 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I've just got to watch it shagging and fall asleep in John's
Probably
arm.
better shifting than you ever did.
I think that's what Poltergeist might be. Exes that have died that are just pissed off because he keeps shagging her.
It is though, isn't it?
It probably is. And that's why I support Poltergeist.
Speaking of Poltergeist, if you do live at 30s Drive, get in touch.
You live at 30s Drive? You got any availability before December?
I know you won't be able to use your keyboard to type, should go straight through, but it's one of them.
I want to ask you the same question. I want to flip it and reverse it.
Am I scared of death? The process of dying, not really. Even if you're like horrific, like you can't. That's just like, are you scared of breaking your leg? Do you know what I mean?
I'm a bit scared of breaking a leg.
You know, I'm my third leg. You know what I mean?
Cock.
For the visually impaired. And for those who don't get it. I think as long as I lived, and this is sort of a bit like you said, as long as I've lived a fulfilled life, no. Because this sort of goes on to would you live forever kind of thing. I don't want to be eternal. I just want to make sure that while I'm here, I've had a good time and I've made a bit of an impact. Which is why, I think that we're going for a minute is, we've got this little pod, hopefully it goes somewhere.
Leaving the world a better place than you found it, essentially.
Essentially, but also because this is... So I went to my grandma's yesterday and she had like all photos as I do. And obviously,
I'm going to cry.
I know, printed photos, obviously, to me, are actually cooler than digital. Yeah. Even though she'll, no, they don't do that. They don't live forever on phones. I'm like, they do because it's digital. Do you know what I mean?
I've got Google Photos.
I'll Bluetooth it to the next one. Yeah. I pay something like that. They'll live on forever, definitely. But one thing, obviously, I'm asking, like, who's that? Because obviously, my knowledge of my family goes up like
just a certain amount.
Max 3 generations. And after that, I've not, because of them, I'm here, but I don't know who they are.
Yeah. But like great granddad, isn't it?
Yeah, and you could see like obviously quality photos. They're right small. They're always like all like brown stains. There's age of a time. No wonder some were written on back, and sometimes you can't read it. All people's writing case. They all written like italics. Like
they did used to do that. Like
really good.
Me and Irene on Beach 2004.
You can tell we're just lazy dickheads because ours all dead spies on the page left handed. But what point I'm getting to is there were photos. These people just like a barbecue. Imagine if we all had a photo and got round.
My dream.
People like beers and that. And this is daft, but I've never seen, especially from a photo of my family, all drinking like we are with Stellas and that. But then I looked at date and it was 1939.
Fucking
and that survived from I don't know how many years that is, like 90 years. 90 years, essentially.
90?
So nearly 85, 90 years.
Fuck knows, man. If you do maths, GCSEs, let us know.
If you have 9, just let us know how many years that is. But I think my point being is like, even my grandma, I don't know what I don't know, but it's like you move on. Like they
life moves on.
But there's a little memory of them, and they're having a good time. But like they obviously like we're doing this, but then in 90 years, we'll probably be dead. Well, we'll be dead definitely. 90 seconds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's one thing left behind that even if they didn't, obviously they didn't know a fucking thing, but that photo's been taken and left, and I've seen it 90 years on, and I've held it.
True.
In 2022 and gone, who's that? And it's just like life is just like a continuous. You were here.
I understand it. I feel
Do you
like
know what I mean? It was nice. It was a bit somber, but it was nice as well.
I suppose those people do live on in that pick a little bit as well. Like, because your grandma might look at it and be like, oh, fucking hell, Johnny was smashed that night, like, proper fucking knocked Noreen's back end off.
Good you ain't got any anti-Noreen's. But yeah, it's just, I don't know why I'm going that. I think because you said, you get forgotten about, but that was sort of, you don't get forgotten, but they've had their time, and my only knowledge of them is that, do you know what I mean, that photo?
Yeah.
Which has survived for me to be able to hold it and go, oh, that's alright.
It's an emotional.
Straight on TikTok last night, TikTok.
That's it though. Maybe I want to take more photos on my camera. Maybe I want to get disposable cameras.
We do,
that.
but we looked into this. But them Polaroids, if you do like a whatever Polaroid Canon, just please send us on loads of things.
No, genuinely, please. I will take loads of photos.
Like, we'll get one for pod, but it's like bloody 30 quid for 15 prints. Like, no.
Bollocks that. I'd rather just go.
Imagine how many times we're going to click it, setting it up, and £1, £2, £3.
I'd be like, £4. You're not zoomed at work on this. Can't get photos cock.
Here's your granddad from 19 years ago.
We're Chinese, wasn't he? No, but death is serious.
No, yeah, but you just got to enjoy it while you're here, don't you?
You have, but I find it too difficult to enjoy it while I'm here due to.
Because you're thinking of it.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, my biggest thing in life is I can't ever enjoy the moment. I'm always so. For example, if I'm on a walk, I'm focused on the destination, but I want to be focused on the walk. But 2 hours earlier, I'm at work and I'm thinking, oh, right, I want to go on a walk later. But when I'm on that walk, I'm thinking, right, my destination's that tree. I need to get to that tree.
Mad.
But I can never enjoy it. I've never enjoyed moment.
That's mad.
In my life. Like when I sit back and we're editing this podcast, I'm like, oh, that was a sync what we did there. But I'm not.
Now I've got enough mind out tomorrow that we're hosting. We need to get that front of me.
I'm not. I'm never focused on that one thing. I'm always focused on something else.
Yeah, that's what I've just got to live for here and now. And I do think that. I always think. I've always been to Greenfields, but you know when I'm there and it's like it'd be a Friday night, like, oh, look forward to him on Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, why would you wish it away? Like, just enjoy fucking DJ.
Enjoy eating that fucking burger out of that van that's 24 quid.
Because you literally right now you'll never get that second back. We'll never. You know we're talking about a photo. You don't get that back. That was past.
True.
Like time just it's going and it's off. You know what I mean?
And it's not stopping for anybody.
Like you've been here for like 2 hours, haven't you? You've been around this area for like 2 hours. You're not getting 2 hours back. But that 2 hours ago, you look forward to doing this, and now let's look forward to.
It's very true, and that is depressing. Maybe I just need to take a look at my life and think, look. To be fair, I'm about a month away from being wrong side of my 20s.
Oh God, let's not even go there. But yeah, you're right.
But I'm never going to be 20 again. I'm never going to be 18 again. I'm never going to I don't know. It's all just fucking shit, innit?
You know, when you think it's about you always think that like world. You do think world was on you. People your age, it's always like, oh, you were my year at school, you're above. But now it's like we're officially like we're not them in time. It's like they are like 8, 9.
Oh,
8, 9 years younger than us.
The youngsters in town.
Yeah, and it's like they're like, what? You just don't know anyone, do you? Because it's like we've all like for example, I've got a quite good example of this. Growing up, obviously, I used to be quite. I think you probably the same. Quite scared of chavs. When you're like
growing up, to see me in Tesco car park, lock the doors.
No, for example, walking up dog shit alley in Mount Green.
Oh,
there'd always be chavs at that thing.
Slight hint of weed, and I was like,
some
sinister ministry up here.
And I'd always be like, oh, a bit not scared, a bit wary. I'm like, oh,
no, yeah, I agree. I know what you're saying.
But then you grow up and you get to age where the people around you, and then you get older. It's like, who is it to be like not scared of it? Who's going to say out? Because unless an actual like criminal, who's going to be a cock? Because like we're not like young, like growing up like, oh, fucking dickhead like you. It's just like, grow up, mate.
I suppose a good question to move on to there, Dan B. You're 25 now.
Yeah.
What stage of your life would you look back on and reminisce? If you died tomorrow, what stage of your life are you looking back on and reminiscing, thinking those were the years?
2016 to 2018.
Really?
100%.
And what fucking happened?
I met our last in 2018 and it all went downhill. No, because I was like 20. You know,
how old were we?
It was like lads. It was when you were young, going out. It was that golden era.
We were going out on a night out and getting picked up in taxi rank and flying to his auntie next day.
Yeah, every year, and it's just like you're careless. You've
literally no responsibility.
No responsibility. You can literally. Things at time you think everything matters, but no, it does. And it's just like, yeah, they were 2016 to 2015 to 2018.
Just think of it.
I say 2014 straight all the way through in 4 years.
All the thing you had to care about were, I've got to put petrol in my car, I'm sure a guy or something.
But petrol them were like fucking 89 pence a litre.
Genuine 79p, I think it is.
My dream. What about you? What are you looking back on? about 10 minutes ago.
I would say that is a good era of life that you just brought up there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That were when I probably enjoyed myself. I just feel like you got to go like, not get off your head, but you got like, I still get like smashing around that, but you got to like carelessly have fun and not have to work all the time. And
it's I always think it's sort of a shame that back then, like, I were a bloody Maplin. I were earning £250 a month, but that's so much to do.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so much to run a car, go on holidays, do everything. Because you used to go out with like 30 quid and that were it.
Speaking of death, rest in peace, Maplin.
But obviously it'd be good to go back to that age, but have all the knowledge and, I'm not saying money, not all money, but obviously as you get older, you come into a bit more money than what you did at really 17, 18. You'd love to live that back then now, but... And you know them years back, and lockdown especially. I'm not going to go into COVID because it's a separate thing.
My word.
But that's robbed. Went in a. Let's just both answer quick fire. When do we go in? We were 2020.
Same
quick
age.
maths. What were we like 23?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we were 23. Coming out your turn.
Can't be because I'm 26 now. Has it been 3 years?
Really, exit 2020, wasn't it?
They've robbed me in my early 20s.
Yeah, but imagine being the 17 to 20 year olds or the 18 to 21.
I'm not them, so fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. You've robbed my youth.
Yeah, you've robbed my
I had a
youth.
good time when I was 18.
Yeah, well, great. I think that's why when we're looking back on it, we're not like, oh, last 3 years have been quite good. How are the tune? It's more like enjoyed those years because we didn't get to do out in the last 3 years because we were fucking locked away under lock and key, getting COVID every 2 minutes.
I'm gonna segue. Sorry, I'm gonna segue it on. I don't know if I'm going to. It's a bit deep, but I think let's keep it brief. But what's your encounter with death? I'm not saying have you had near-death experience, but what's your relationship with death? As in, I'll go first, just to set the scene. I've had less than 5 people die. That's like hard hitting. You know, obviously you get great auntie. From
when my great auntie dies, I'm like that.
You know, it's not much to me, but your bubble is, you know, like in my world, I've got my mum, my dad, you blah blah blah. But to someone else, they've got their mum, their dad. So for me, in my, you know, and forgive me if I'm getting in and out, but I know in fact I'm not. I ain't had too many. I've been quite lucky.
Yeah.
So I'm a bit anxious that I've got a lot to come. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm like, whereas there's a lot of people that's at our age that have gone through a fucking lot, and it's like that. I'm not saying at peace, it's like bloody you. So it's like, God, got this, got that. Do you know what I mean? So what are you like? Have you killed them all off yet? Or?
I suppose I've had 2 people die that's close to me.
Yeah.
And that's both my nan and my gran. They died. Yeah. Like within about
quick successive, wasn't it?
It were a year of each other to the a week of the day.
Yeah.
And that, to be fair, like I think that were I can't remember when it were, but
it were a few years ago. 2 or 3 years ago.
It is just the worst experience that is the worst experience of my life so far.
Yeah.
Like nothing compares to it. Like I won't go too deep into the story.
No, let's not. Let's keep it brief.
Let's keep it like that. But there's times where, like, when you have to say goodbye to somebody, it is the worst thing in the world. Like,
you don't get them back, do you?
You just don't get them back.
But there's a good analogy that I've seen about grief. That it's like, everyone thinks it's a thing, a circle, and circle gets smaller. It doesn't. The grief stays the same, but your life just grows around it.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So they're still there. You still think, but it's, you know, you've got. This person time in my life, I've now got this job, I'm doing this podcast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all that, but your life were with that until a certain point. And then,
to be fair, I'm glad my nan and granddad didn't have to see this fucking podcast.
You know what I mean? It is, isn't it?
No, it is very difficult. Like,
so both not had much experience, really, have we?
That is the. You know what I'm going to say when you were saying that? I would if when my dad dies, that'll be a drastic thing for myself, like as my mum and everybody. But but when my dad's dad died, I don't know if I can put this out on pod, but he got a phone call. He just went, "Yep, oh, is it? All right, cheers, bye." And it was just like that. I think like men just don't. Of my dad's age, my dad's older. Just doesn't show any emotion in that. And it's all just fucked.
Programmed into a minute. Hard as fucking nails.
And also,
I couldn't do that. I cry at films all the time.
I do, but seeing like a family member cry at a funeral, who you like, who's a strong family member, you're like, oh fucking hell,
it's raw.
Shit's hit the fucking fan here.
And then you've got to be a strong person. I know you've been blubbering like a mess, but
I hit the drink of drugs. I'm like, and
the sun goes down, the zoo comes down. But I say we both got not to experience.
We've got a lot to come, baby.
We've got a lot to come, but
What about when one of his mates dies?
Oh, it'd be a rape piss up.
Genuine, someone die at a funeral is an absolute goat piss up. Please, Fraz, if you do the right thing.
Come on, fella. I'll never go to your funeral. You'll never go to mine.
Oh, what? What?
I say we have to die at the same time, so we just go together. And
hold on, explain that to me.
Because we'll never be at the same funeral. Like, you'll either be at mine or I'll be at yours. There'll be no right. We've done Dan's. Let's now go to Andy's. Because that's not how it works. It's one or other fella.
I've got to go first.
I think you will.
Yeah,
I think you will, and I'll be there.
No, I actually couldn't imagine going to your funeral though. Like, what the fuck would you do?
I don't know.
Please carry my coffin as a video evidence. Just carry my coffin.
I get on TikTok. I'm find on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Right now. 8.3.
Absolutely smeeshed. Get smeeshed at Fumes, man.
You know, I'll have to.
Yeah, order first.
So we've done a bit of watching counter. I'm trying to think how these get positioned.
Juxta.
You know, it's like, what do you think happens when we die?
Thank you for asking that question.
This is a bit science and religion, but
I know, even though you went to a religious school,
I got an A-star in RE, I'll have you know.
Atheist till he dies.
I'm not a priest, because fuck the Catholics.
No, but if you are a priest, I want to get in touch.
Yeah, I do want to. Yeah, we got to say, but leave them kids alone.
I reckon when you die, it's as scientific as turn the light off. I can't explain that bit obviously because I experienced it, but. And you just, like I said, you're as lifeless as this table.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I think we can just as answer as no. Yeah, I think it's nice to think that something happens, and you know, it's nice that I think certain religions it's like reincarnation. That'd be sick because we'll get to that after.
It'd be shit because I've done a lot of that thing. I've come back as a maggot.
I come back as a.
I'd love to come back as a cock and just be like, oh, in an ass again. Fuck's sake, Brian.
Is that Dan's?
Smells like it.
But what were we saying?
I can't remember. Pretending to be a cock going into an ass.
I think of a hemorrhoid joke, but I couldn't be arsed.
It'd be nice to think that something does happen if you die, reincarnation and all that kind of shit.
But it don't.
But it just don't. Like, I don't understand how people build. You know what? Somebody told a story, right, and written it down in a book,
Mate,
and it's
a lot of cash.
Formed like this fucking whole thing.
It's like someone writing out. It's like J.K. Rowling existing in 2000.
Yes, that is. Oi, that's goat.
Do you know what I mean?
That's exactly it.
And then we just believe in that Hogwarts were a thing.
If that's true. If J.K. existed back then, we'd be like, in the Rifle Minister Gryffindor, and it's just like bollocks.
And I'll tell you what's mad about that. Factually, I only read this today. I went to Catholic school, and I know my five pillars are Islam. But obviously, you see Jesus as a white man with a bit of beard and long hair. Gorgeous,
gorgeous abs.
A bit like Jared Leto. Or Chris Hemsworth when he's playing Thor.
Oh my god. I'd suck Jesus off if you are listening, Jesus.
If Jesus is Chris, then we've got a deal. But what would I get to? But factually, because Jesus, they always said there's Turin Shroud, that bloody cloth where he's got his shit stains on. That if he were real, he were alive, but he's from like Middle East, from like Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be a white man, would he?
No, would he fuck?
But because the Westerns twisted it to be,
so it's already very wrong.
No, but I do think that in others, like in Middle East and in Africa and in China,
they like Jesus.
Yeah, they depict Jesus as a black man or Jesus as an Asian looking man. Do you know what I mean? That proves it's all a load of bollocks to me. So what were it? Jesus.
Why are they doing? Why can't they all just get together and say, "Should we just stop this?"
Because it makes it relatable.
Okay.
You know, let's face it.
But
you're not going to flog it, especially in a northern town in England. That if 20 Catholics that Jesus was a black man, are you? They're not going to relate to that, and that's not me racist saying that. That's they're not going to relate to that.
No, true.
So they twist it as it's like saying Santa's like Japanese when he goes to Japan and that. Like it's to make it get people on board and be, oh, you are a white man with, but it's like, oh yeah, it's deaf.
Well, on the subject of religion, what do you think about religious people being like, oh, we hate gay people now?
Obviously, I'm maybe change mine a bit, but it's a bit hard to. Religion's a bit old out, and I can't believe it has still a bigger presence as it does in our world right now, 2022, as much influence. But I think if that's what they've sort of been led to believe, you could argue this is a religion episode. We
should do a religion episode. Maybe we'll leave that. I'm going to do a religion episode.
But I'll just say one point before I forget, and I won't say it for that pod. You could argue that science is almost a religion because we're just believing what people say. I haven't tested the fucking gravity. Like I'm fine with that. I don't need an explanation that apple fell from a tree.
Science has evidence behind it. Well, give me a bit of evidence from religion.
Yeah, but Bible's evidence. Do you know what I mean? It's far-fetched.
So is Harry Potter.
But that's what I'm saying. So I can understand that if I believe science, but if they, you brought up in a whatever religion it is family that being gay is not right, and obviously it's going to take a while to. Oh well, that's not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not been brought up. So I think it'll eventually. I think it'll sort itself out. I think religion's the last ones to catch on that being gay is alright.
I think it's slowly there.
Do you know what I mean?
I think they're still like, go on then.
Yeah, but in countries like Saudi Arabia, it's not, is it?
No, it's true. It's still
stoning. Yeah, of course it is.
What for really?
Sure, a lot. Yeah, of course it is. Cock chopped off.
Isn't that where Jesus came from?
Basically, yeah.
Let him understand it.
We're gay, were he? We're an absolute stud.
Jesus.
Knock it back in off of Mary.
He only had blokes at his last supper. You know what I mean?
I'll put 12 and 1 together, if you know what I mean.
I think he did. 12 cocks, one household.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Give me a segue.
Give me a segue.
Give me a segue, man.
Sorry, I've lost me.
I've lost his bearings, but
I've lost my death notes. I've lost my glasses.
Would you? Oh no.
Just do a little seggers.
My segue, actually, what I want to talk about, but I will just talk to the punters about it. I don't know if you've seen on Lad Bible, but Loch Ness Monster has reintroduced a long, gorgeous, luscious neck in the Scottish Isles. I imagine the Loch Ness.
Oh, can't be arsed with that bollocks.
I can be arsed with that bollocks.
That's what we needed. Lockie needs to come back, doesn't he?
Genuinely, when Lockie comes back, I might take it. Me and you trip us to Loch Ness and have a little dive.
I'd actually swim full length and we're just not going to say he's not here.
Can't they just get a big vacuum and just be like, no, not in. Get it back. Literally, why can't they just solve it all?
Let someone in. Elon Musk, get one in. I bet it's like, I'm sick of them Scottish and English breaks. Yeah, someone in.
Elon's off to space 24/7.
I might have a look in log.
Have you with Nessie? Could you go to Stacey, like go down and she'll be like, alright Elon, you alright?
I bet Nessie's gorgeous.
We're talking about
Vanessa or the Nessie.
That's what I mean.
Long neck, if you know what I mean. Oh.
Long neck dilly.
Back to death.
Sorry, talk about.
I've got a question. Would you rather find out when you die?
Oh.
Or how you die?
When or how?
Yep.
I'd like to answer first on this one, and my answer is.
So I already know my answer.
When?
Why?
Because then I know what timeline I'm working to. So I can be like, right, let's for example just say, Andy, you're going to die in 38 years on 24th of October. Yeah. I can be like, right.
That's 3 days after my birthday, man.
I know, but I'm there for party, but I'm dying after. I'm fit in everything I want to fit in. I can do everything I want to do to a timeline and not waste my time. But, for example, if you said, Andy, you die paragliding, so you went next week, you're like, I'm like, no. I might leave this one. I might see this one. I'll watch it. I'll see this one out. You know what I mean? But it made me feel.
You might get hit by me on paraglider. like Mel off Benidorm.
Genuine recipes, Mel and Tom. But I think if I knew how I was going to die, it'd put me off doing stuff. Like if it were a car accident, for example, and I'm like, every time I got in the car, I'm like
on edge. Driving to work.
Like, my open.
I need a down way to everywhere, so it's one of them, innit? No, but I think both have the
ups and downs.
Because my answer would be how. Because
why?
Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell it too. So I get what you're saying when, but that
you were quite swayed with my when, aren't you?
A bit,
yeah.
But that only works when you get a decent timeline to work with. So when you go, all right, if we both had a button now with the option, a little screen, it told us
on
an envelope.
Black Mirror episode where they press it and it's the relationship thing.
That is an episode.
Me and you, Black Mirror episode.
That is a go. But if we had both had a thing and yours was saying you when, mine's how, and yours goes, oh, I'll find out when. Next year. Or even 4 years. What?
Could we argue that that's exactly what Tom from The Wanted went through?
Well, yeah, of course it is, but he's already... Unfortunately, he didn't really want to press that button.
No.
The doctor said, "This is what's happening."
No, yeah, fair play.
That's the same concept.
No, yeah, same concept.
But
so I understand what you're saying.
He ain't got a lot to work with. But you're saying, 38
years.
Let's hope, touch wood, a normal life, it probably is going to be like another 60 years. Something like that.
Stop smirking when you were looking to say that to me.
I can't wait for that piss up.
You're like 68, 628.
We'll be around 28, 26. But you know what I mean? In a normal world. But
that's what you'd hope for, innit?
But it might not be, because you might get a brain.
I understand what you're saying. So it might say 6 months, it might say a year. And then I'm like, yeah, but if I knew that, I'd kind of stop stressing so much about things that I'm stressed about now, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm like, right, I've got 6 months left. I'm not saying I'll be positive, but I'll be like, right, I've got 6 months left to live. Maybe I'm going to spend all the money I'm earning. I'm not going to start saving for an holiday next year, man. I'm fucking going to Vegas right now.
See, that's your thinking, but where my brain's wired up is, Dan, you've got 25 years. I couldn't then. I'd be like, right, well, I'll save up for 2 years, and then I'm going ham for 5 years, travelling the world on a big yacht, middle of Mediterranean.
Can I ask you a question about this situation?
Yeah.
Does everybody else know your timeline?
I think it's up to you whether you want to tell them that.
If you went for a loan at the bank, would they say, right, can I see your timeline? Because if not, I'd be like, I've got some on my glasses. If not, I'd be like, oh, can I get £1 million loan out? And then
if not, I'd be doing a Mick Garvin boning to pool and benefits for all comes of that. Let's say it's up to you. Because it's how you want to interpret it.
You can share that.
But what I was saying is, alright, so I've got 25 years left, but I'm on this massive yacht in Ibiza or whatever. I'm living life.
You and Wayne.
Yeah, me and Wayne, up the boys. But then what I do is it goes back to you not living in the moment and looking forward to it. True. I would zone out of the moment, and I did this on clear as day. One of boat parties went on, I think it was Malia.
Genuine
one of the best, one of the moments you look back on your life.
That was mint as fuck, by the way.
But one of the reasons it was mint for me is I sort of did like an out of body thing where like I just stopped and obviously you turn around, there's fucking cocks and you going all that. It's like, for God's sake, not again, douche. But obviously you're on a party, but then what I did is because someone was setting it one nice room, middle of nowhere, you're coming back.
Is that one where boat going like,
oh yeah, and you got slapped. Yeah, you got smacked by owner. Save for a different story. What I'm getting to is, I remember clear as day, standing just on edge of the boat. Instead of facing into the party, I faced out onto the sea when sun was setting, and I was just like watching water, just watching like viewing that and the sun going down. I was just like, I already know I'll remember this moment like.
Were you really?
Yeah.
So you enjoyed the moment?
I enjoyed, but not that moment. I just enjoyed life. I took it in a bit. I could hear it behind me. I was like, this is good, but I was like, look where I am. I'll enjoy this. But what I'm saying is, if I knew when I'm going to die, I'd do that, and I'd look onto it ways where I'd be like, fuck me, mate, you're going to die in 28 years. Do you know what I mean? I'd be so fucked. And imagine when you get closer to it. Jeez, imagine. Fuck, we've got 3 weeks left.
5 hours left.
Yeah, because you know when you're going to die, because you can't speed it up or slow it down. That's when you're going to die. But it's like,
does it give you the exact time?
Oh, does it matter? Jesus, I don't. What you know,
it don't matter.
What you doing last half hour?
That's it though. What are you going to do last half hour?
Say it for pod. But and then my argument.
Have the most world's disappointing wank. And you're like, oh, I didn't get a good feeling out of that one.
All the time. So because of that, that's why I'd pick how. Because I suppose if it's a car, every time you get a car, but there's also that risk anyway. And
there is, yeah.
I think my life revolves a lot around time, as yours does.
Yeah.
So therefore, I can't go based on. I can't have a timer.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
It's like that snail that can kill you, and
I actually love that question.
Which we could do a full episode, but it is.
Yeah.
That's your death. And I couldn't have that. I'd rather just that snail fucking plough into me, T-bone me at 90 mile an hour at a junction, and be like, oh, fair enough.
So if you could choose a way to die.
That's the next question. I'm glad you've asked.
I've just gone that segue. Whoop.
Best and worst way to go.
Alright, okay. I'm not going to say best.
One of your best ways is go to that fridge and get a Stella.
Should I Stella?
Yeah, you can do. So Andy's going to get a Stella. I'll think of my best way to go.
I know my worst.
Well, what is your worst then? I mean, save it for pod. But, no worries. Yeah, I can do. Have a chat on that.
The sun goes down, the police come out.
That's fine, it's only a limb.
Right, so
Go on then, your worst way to go, Andrew, would be...
My worst way to go is either... This is quite niche, so I'm going to go with the other one, but I'll say it after. I'll say it now. All the air being sucked out of a room and I just, like, can't...
Oh.
Or drowning.
These are your worst?
Drowning, just not being able to like breathe, I think.
Yeah.
And possibly like maybe a fire, when you can't breathe, not smoke's coming up and shit. Those are my worst ways to go. I think when it in regards to illnesses and stuff, you can kind of come to peace with that and like say goodbyes and what have you, and in your hospital bed you can be like, I've always loved you, Doreen, and it's like alright, but like maybe a sudden drowning at a boat party, Mally went on and smacked you.
So when I'm looking at them boys, it's oi.
Yeah,
you're on it.
I'll be a second in the moment here. Whoop. Yeah, that's definitely my worst way to go.
I think drowning is worse than fire, I say that, because you're coming for breath, but it fills with water, not air. At least in fire it's hot, but you can go.
And you see when the people drown in films, they always go like,
I mean, it's peaceful and it's like, right, that's
and it's like,
and plus it's freezing.
Fuck that.
But I think worst way to go, and I know there's torture and you could go really into your slowly removing each limb, but I think genuine motor neuron.
What's motor neuron?
What I think it's what Stephen Hawking. It's what that Rob Burrows, that rugby player's got.
Is it where you can't move?
It's where you just slowly just go into a vegetative state, basically. Like
really?
They've got to have that machine on the way. It's like I can do it, and he's got to do it with his eyes. I
did not know that's what he had.
This is the worst bit. Your brain's fully capable. You can think, you can crack jokes, you can.
Do you think that's the worst way to go?
100%. Of course it is.
How long is it? Just like a normal life? You were like quite old though, weren't you, young Steve?
Yeah, but he lived with that for years.
Yeah,
and he's made a good thing out of it, but imagine being, I'd rather be physically disabled, as in no arms out, than
he's not mentally disabled.
No, he's physically disabled. I'd rather be mentally where, and this sounds awful because I'm not experiencing anything, thank God for that, I'm grateful I'm not, but imagine being your body and you want to just grab that, or you want to tell someone this, but you can't. You're trapped, you're a prisoner, and no. Terrible. I think it's
you
so
think that's
awful.
The worst way?
100%. It's quite because I think it's quite a normal answer because you could say, like I say, torture or beheaded by ISIS, but that's like not comedy deaths, but they're like exaggerated.
Yes.
If we're talking how people do,
they probably won't happen to us because we're not in like army and that, and it's not quite literally, we're not on that front line, so we're not going to get that. But we could get. Yeah, I suppose that is quite a bad way to go. But I'm thinking it's a bit better because you're still there. You know what I mean? Like you're still like, you know what is a bad way to go?
What?
Parkinson's. Is it? No, not Parkinson's. Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
That's one of that.
Well, of course it is, but this is. I'm not saying one's better or worse than the other.
No.
But at least with Alzheimer's, it is awful. I'm not cracking a joke, but obviously you've forgotten about it.
True.
Whereas motor new, I'm sorry, but I can't get around the fact that you're fully there, but you can't. You're trapped. You can't just say, right, I love you, or right, Pastor Stella.
No, true.
You can't do anything. You're just there. It's trapped. Imagine trapped in your thoughts.
I wonder if that's what it's like being in a coma. You know, like your eyes are closed, but you can hear everyone being like, "Oh, it's what John would have wanted to plug." And you're like, "Actually, I'm John, and get that plug plugged in. Actually, put a generator on it."
That's a good segue from generators right into euthanasia. Are you
didn't say your best way to die.
Best way to die. What, have you got one?
Not really.
Oh, that's short and sweet. Him off that video of that ride that goes on.
What the fuck, did he die?
Yeah, 14-year-old man.
14?
It wouldn't stop me going on it.
It would definitely stop.
I
don't like roller coasters one
Can't
little
get
bit.
enough. I'll take my chances.
You heard his body go like on floor, and everyone were like, "Did you check red button?" And he's like, "Get ambulance, will you? Come on."
Red button, he's fucking red fuller. Fall his lava.
Generator euthanasia.
Are you all for euthanasia or not?
For me personally,
I'm assisted suicide. I'm sure you know what euthanasia was, but
me and you, Sweden.
Short Stay in Switzerland, my favourite film of all time. Good film, by the way. Watched it in RE. Really good film.
Is it weird man and a woman and they're quite sexually attracted to each other?
Yeah, I think so. They end up falling out, but she essentially goes to Switzerland to get euthanised because it's legal over there.
I'll watch it tomorrow night.
Hence a short stay in Switzerland.
It's stay for a long time. 2-week all inclusive or euthanasia. What are you saying? Would I do it?
No, do you think it should be legal? Not. I think it should be. Do you think people shouldn't have to go to Switzerland to do it?
Is she ill?
Yeah, she knows she's going to die. She's not just going, can't be asked today, get me to Swissy.
No, that's what my point's going to be, because if we legalise it, and somebody with mental health issues such as something, I don't know.
So not physical, but mental, yeah.
Like they've maybe got very bad depression. So they're thinking, right, I want to end it. And they go somewhere like that and they do it, but what if they could go somewhere, the same facility, and just talk to somebody, get it worked out, and they're like, right, because you always see those tweets that are like, right, glad I didn't kill myself, I'm just sat with my son eating pizza, playing FIFA, and it's like best time of my life or something.
So sure.
But it's like, if you do legalise what is it again? Euthanasia place, then it's a quick solution to some people's short problems.
Yeah. No, I agree. But I think that
I think that's like a true politician.
That's good. I think Andy for MP. You know what I mean? No, but I think if it is, they obviously have to have rules. I mean, I'm not saying mental illness doesn't exist, so you can't do that. But I think if you want to do that,
you've got the right mind to.
There should be other avenues.
Yeah.
But I think if it's for physical, like motor neuron, you know that Rob Burrows, he comes on news all the time. He's getting worse and worse.
What the fuck is he? I've never seen him.
He were ex-Leeds Rhinos rugby player, I think.
Gorgeous.
Well, yeah, back in the day, like he's this like big hunky rugby player. Now he's like this withered. He's only like 30 odd, like late 30s.
Really?
And like slowly getting from he's in a wheelchair and then he can't speak and then he's just a veg bit for the rest of his life. But imagine you know that, but you've got the option to, all right, I'm at the point where none of this now's fun. You know, it's all signed off by the doctor. He can press it, and I think that's fine. Me.
And would you press it?
I'm not in that situation, probably. Yeah.
God.
But you know, as daft as it is, I didn't get chosen to put here. I'm glad I did get put here.
Yeah.
Fantastic, but why should I not be able to choose?
True.
And why should people have to, if they do want to commit suicide, why should they have to go down silly avenues?
Yeah.
Not silly, that sounds awful, but
No, I know what you mean.
It makes it hard for them to choose what to do, and I agree, if you got a problem, there should be all the help. There's not enough help for all that kind of stuff, but they should be guided. But even still, if they're dead certain, it should be last stop saloon. If you want to do it, you shouldn't have to go to here and do that, or here and let someone. Do you know what I mean?
It should be like a safe place kind of thing.
It should be that, and that's fine. And done.
And the body doesn't have to get found by the mum who walks in and like sees him hanging or
It's
something.
done. He's literally straight to the morgue.
Yeah, that might. I don't know. That's a difficult one, that. But I think when it comes like your vegetative friend who used to be a rugby player.
I don't know him, by the way, but robot guy.
I think maybe you could get to do it. Maybe I'm not pro or
I think that's going to be a doctor's process.
I'm not pro or against
like
them.
signing up for surgery or trying to prove you want to change gender because you've got to do this for so many years.
That is a very difficult question, that one, isn't it?
But also then there's the people they've been in a car crash and they're not in a brand new and they're not in a state, because I think in like Switzerland you've either got to be able to press the button yourself or it's got to be a doctor.
What is it with Switzerland? It's like, kill yourself.
No taxes, kill yourself when you want.
No tax at all.
Nice watches. Well,
No tax at all.
No, it's got like low income. You know what I mean? That's got Swiss banks.
Give me the Switzerland, baby.
But yeah, I think it should be. Everyone should have a choice in what they do. So let's not make it silly for, if I were a wild rabbit, I'd just run in front of a fox and of a bob.
I'd lather my ass it with Luke for a wild rabbit and be like, the sun goes down, the fox come out. I'm like, what does the fox say?
What does the fox say?
Fox is in my pussy.
Where does the fox live?
How are the tune?
Oh God.
Give me a death question, you slag.
Oh God.
Fucking.
If you had 6 months to live,
yes, I'd shag you.
and what would you do?
If I had 6 months to live, you're my doctor. You just said, look, Andy. Yeah, I've got 6 months to live, but am I able in that? Am I
Right now, yeah. Well, let's say you're able. What would fulfil your life?
What would
in 6 months?
6 months. I feel like the first thing that's come to my mind might not be my answer, but I just need to get it off my chest.
Yeah, thank God for that.
I'd see as much as the world as I possibly could.
So cliche, that's my exact answer.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so
How can you not
cliche.
want to do that?
It's so like a shit answer though, innit? Because like,
Yeah, that's what I want to do now. But I've got work.
Exactly.
So let's do it when I can just sign up for loads of credit cards and they die with me, but let's all go to... We're going to...
I agree. Where would you go? New Zealand,
6
man.
months... No, Tokyo, Japan. 100%.
Absolutely love that kind of shit. I believe Russia are outright, to be fair, Ukraine.
No, a minute. I think back to some people when you learn on, but Putin, fuck off.
If you listen to this, just get back to your issues.
If you did have 6 months, would you try and assassinate Putin? What you got to lose, man? When you're 5 months,
Wouldn't you rather
28 days in.
Having a drink by bar and that.
Yeah, but if you've done all that, you've fulfilled that, and then you've got 2 days
Oh,
left.
5 months, 28 days.
What have you got to risk?
Oh.
I'd have a pop at booze.
I'm like,
Right, do you go intervention?
I would literally just be like, can I have a meet with Putin? Because I've got 28 days to live, probably my hero and that. And it's a, oh, are you okay?
Make noise with Putin.
You could shake my hand, I'm like, hey, pal, anyway.
Pull that trigger hand.
I would literally just say, come here, pal. Fuck you off, you'd have to come. Got him, I met him and I put his arm around him and all the bodyguards like, no, you don't put the arm around Putin. He's like, I'm going to do what I want, man. Where's the tune? Do you know what it is?
Putin love Newcastle, would it?
Imagine Putin and I in Newcastle is like, how we? No, to answer your question, if I had 28 days to live, yes, I would kill Hughes, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I would do it. I'm not a trained assassin, and I reckon he's got a few bodyguards.
What if you say you get shot on sight, but you just go in bare knuckle with a nice amount of guns, a few grenades and flashbangs.
I'd go to his big red button that's a fallen nuke. I'd rewire it so it just goes to like a board underneath his seat. It does a whoopee cushion fires because he's like, what happened to a button? I don't know. It meant to nuclear the world. It's like, fucking hell. Put your for your tea, Putin.
You've really practiced Russian accent for a
All I've done, mirror past TV. If anybody asks me to do a Putin, what have I done for the button? I don't know.
What would you like to eat today?
Will you put soccer cocky? You're passing an ass and all.
Oh.
I'm very going to say no in Russian.
Oh, what a day.
Is that a conclusion on death?
I did have a... What would do if we got 6... It's travel, innit? It's travel.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
That's it for like your questions about death. I think we've covered quite enough in that. My last 3 points are sort of just to do with, it's not sort of death and personal to us. It's more sort of, I've got.
Sarah almost crying when just about relatives.
Our fans have got to Putin and all that. No, Vlad. I've just put my notes. It's not a question. It's just a prompt.
Recipes, Tom. I need to remember that. Come on.
We touched upon it, and recipes, Tom. We touched upon it. Life goes on without you.
Yes. You know what? I think we need to, you know what, actually, I would like to make a point. I am quite stressed at the minute in life, but when I am really stressed, sometimes I like to think, whatever I do ain't going to matter in 5 years. Like, we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? But this decision I'm making now, if it's not going to affect my life in 5 years, don't spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. If that. And I like to maybe think, all the stress I've got, like really trivial day-to-day stresses, but if I just take myself out of my body and into the grand scheme of the world, stop worrying about it. You're going to go home tonight, you're going to have a wank, everything's going to be fine.
Bus.
Unless I get rid of our bus or period princess that fat boy, everything's good. You know what you see to think? Everything's going to be fine. Like, even go back to your GCSEs. I was stressed about that. I was so stressed about my GCSEs. I had the worst shits I've ever had in my life.
What were you?
No, I was, Phil? I had to get taken out of my exam hall.
You actually got Phil, wasn't it?
My teacher.
You got sacked. Phil said, didn't he? And weren't he pedo as well?
Yeah, we're paedophile. I can't remember his name. Mr. Hill.
Oh, he was a good man. Tied a GCSE leg.
Yeah, but I know he was like an old bunny. But I had to get taken out of the exam, sat in the office, and I couldn't do my exams because I was that stressed about them. But they just don't matter. Just don't worry about it. Get an Andrex, have a flush later, and get back in that hole, son. It's fine.
Are we?
2 + 2 = 7, I think. What do you think about that?
About what, GCSE's Red Bulls or Mr.
No, the original question that I forgot.
How life goes on?
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit like that photo barbecue from 1939. Life's gone on for them. And like I said, you've got your family, and like I'm youngest one in my family still.
I'm not
in the immediate family. I won't be coming in.
Hello, Mr. Rogers.
Do you know what I mean? No, like direct line of command.
Yes.
Mum, dad's like grandparents. I think it gets bigger, but they're obviously not alive. I'm still the youngest, so at the minute it's still all about you. But then obviously you'll have a nipper, then it's about them.
Oh,
and then he goes back, and like I look at my grandma, it's like she's oldest in her family.
She was the youngest.
She wants me.
Yeah.
Where she had all these people that were like, oh, look at you, like blah blah blah. And it's now like she's had a good life, but she's seen it all. But now, like, I suppose it's a good thing she then gets to see what she's produced.
I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Do you know what I mean?
And I love
she
that,
was once like her generation of they were born in 1944 once where the youth are today, where the future. But now they've had their time, you know. They've still got a bit more, but you know, they've had, in terms of making a difference, going out and enjoying the sun, seeing things, they've done that. Time over.
That is extremely.
And we'll get there, because we'll be old and unable, and
I kind of look forward to like.
And they always say, "Don't get old, and it'll catch you up." Or
don't wish your life away.
You'll get there one day.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee that our grandparents weren't ever. I don't look at you and I think, "Oh man, I hope that we're still together in the pub doing a podcast at 80 odd, wrinkly as fuck."
I genuinely do.
You about that big, me that big. Do you know what I mean, though?
I was just saying that. I was just thinking then. Sorry. I would love to be. I don't want to wish my life away, but I would love just this conversation with you, looking back on our life and what we've done.
Yeah.
And there's like, remember that time we like fucking got smacked about in Mellier? Remember that time?
Jumpies.
What was that? In Dante when he was like, never talk to the Serbians. That night we were having a piss, always cocks out with 40 Serbians down that alley.
With Serbs.
Yeah. Me and you were like, the Serbians come on now.
I'm in sickle.
Yeah, I was like, but I'd like to look back on memories and that and be very old and wrinkly, but then just like click my eyes, I'm like, oh, I'm 26 again.
But you know, like, you wish you were life with, but even in terms of like, I hate January, February, March, no offence guys, and I hate basically up to May really, so you're lucky with your birthday because it's all shit months and shit weather, but that's wishing half a year of my life away. And
how is it mad? It's April already.
But you know what else is mad as well? Do you know when you were younger and Christmas took forever to come out? School took forever. They said it'll last 2 minutes high school. It did last quite a while. 5 years ago, we were in wherever it was, Zante or whatever. And it's scientifically why it feels like that is because when you were younger, you've only had 2 Christmases. So it's like a third of your life. Your 4th Christmas is your third of your life.
Yeah, true.
But now one Christmas is now a 26th of my life. That's why it feels like it was COVID. It was Boris Johnson. You now have to stay at home. That was 2.5 years ago.
Fucking hell.
But do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
because I was 8 and I could remember what I got my 7th, my 6th, my 3rd.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember all before that. And that was the biggest thing in my life. But now it's like, you've got bigger fish to fry. And like, how quick is a year ago? We're in April already. I've not filled my ISA. I've had a stinker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've still not gone back to the gym.
Oh man, my New Year's resolutions were, I think, the 3rd day I sacked them off. My New Year's resolutions, actually, I've stuck to mine. I've stuck to mine.
What were it?
I'm not going to have any Monster this year. Zero sugar Monster
You
thing.
had one in Liverpool.
Did I?
Yeah, I think so. You brought me one the other day, actually. Or the week, actually.
Yeah, but did I have one?
Yeah.
The sun goes down.
Rest in peace, Tom.
Stars come out.
I've also got how insignificant we are. This is a bit played into Life Goes On.
Yeah.
Like, we just... And this is... Let's not go into the space episode, but...
Oh, genuine, stay tuned for space episode because I'm going to get my alien on.
But I think a nice way to round this off is to just say... My favourite saying at the minute... I've got a few. Mainly I can't repeat one here. But favourite one to just... A bit when you're a bit stressed about work and stuff that don't matter in 5 years is... You get one go around on a big rock.
Wow.
And that's it.
I'm going to take that into my life.
That rock will spin with or without you. But you just have a bit of time on this rock and then you're off. So while you're here, you've just, like Rio Ferdinand once said.
You live by this.
Like Rio once said, just enjoy, man.
I think that's a go. That is. I'll take that with me.
I'll get a rock tattooed on me.
Me and you get rocks.
Little rock, big rock.
I'll get Dwayne. You get Johnson.
I'll get a stick with a scar on it.
That's the funniest folks to do it.
My dream.
No, that's a good way to leave it, that, Dan.
Well, hopefully me and you didn't die pretty soon.
We'll take that phone, see how long we've got left.
Mine a bit, tripping out of the camera.
Mine's like, -2 hours? How am I doing it? And the sun goes... JLS. Sorry about keep singing The Sun Goes Down. It's because we have been listening to it and that's the recipe to home.
But, yeah, life's a...
Life's a bitch and then you die. Welcome to the death episode. Thanks for listening to the Daddy Podcast.
It's been a pleasure.
This episode was sponsored by SearchOut VPN, so check them out.
You're also sponsored by absolutely nobody yet again, so feel free to get in touch. But apart from that, cheers fellas, see you in a bit.
Fine, Dandy.
Ta-da.
Don't die on me, eh?